Hi everyone, Professor Elam here. I just wanted to do a little micro lecture about this week's chapter 13. So chapter 13 is about closing the sale. And the close is when the prospect agrees to the purchase of the product or service, whatever it is you're selling. But the close is not just something that you ask for at the end of the presentation. Closing is an ongoing series of events that happens throughout the entire presentation. So the close actually begins at the selling process. So as you're getting to know your prospect and what their needs are, you know what type of problem you're solving, how you're going to make their company more profitable, what you are going to do to make life easier for them is all part of the closing process. So remember, it's about the trust. You and your prospect need to have a trusting relationship. And throughout that trusting relationship, if your prospect trusts you, they're going to give you all the information you need to know in order to sell them. You have to ask the right open-ended questions. If the trust is there, they will honestly answer those questions, and you'll learn about how your product or service can fit into their organization, and you create ultimately a win-win. You win and also they win. So to start with, let's talk about the difference between the trial close and the close. The trial close is a series of questions that you ask throughout the sales presentation. How do you feel about the product? Does this product solve the issue that you're looking to solve? What are your thoughts at this point? Do you see how affordable this product or service can be? So those are like mini closes. They're called trial closes. So the point is, as you're asking these mini closes or these trial closes, it's to start up a conversation with your prospect if at this point of the presentation they have a question. So you want to make sure that before you go from one point to the next, you've done a trial close. Do you see how this product can solve your current problem? Do you see how this service will make it easier to deal with customers? So you want your prospect to be opening up during the entire sales process, and you can make sure that they're on board with what it is you're saying by making sure that they have any questions. So that's what the trial close is. The trial close asks questions all throughout the sales presentation. The close is what you ask for at the very end of the presentation. So what the close is you're asking for the business at the end of the presentation. And you have to make sure you do that. A lot of salespeople are afraid to ask for the business at the end of the presentation. But that's what you need to do. You need to ask, are you ready to buy? But what the close is it's not a high pressure exchange between the seller and the buyer. So you shouldn't be putting them on the hot seat. You shouldn't be making them feel uncomfortable. It is not a time when the salesperson should resort to trickery or manipulation or any type of high pressure, uncomfortable sales tactic. The close should only be done after you've walked the prospect through the entire presentation and answered any of their objectives along the way, utilizing the mini close or the trial close. Again, it gives your prospect the opportunity to let you know what their questions or concerns are before you move on to the next part of the sales presentation. Okay, so that is the end of what I wanted to talk to you about for today's mini lecture. As always, I'm here if you have any questions or concerns.